Happy Thanksgiving, my dearest little goblin rat. Everyone gather round today because I am about to tell you the truth. I know Thanksgiving is supposed to be wholesome and positive, but I have been holding this in for an entire year, and it is time for a family intervention. I am not thankful for the turkey. I'm not thankful for the stuffing. I am not thankful for the economy, pretending it did not melt down 12 times since last November. I am thankful for Bitcoin and you. That is it. Everything else has been a total circus. I spent the entire year watching Fiat behave like an unpaid intern who keeps pressing the wrong button and then pretends the computer malfunctioned. It is quite obvious that we have seen prices explode. Groceries have turned into luxury goods. Rent acted like it was training for a powerlifting competition. Every politician went on television, lied straight to the camera, and then told us to be optimistic, but I am done pretending that this is normal. The only functional part of the year was Bitcoin showing up every 10 minutes with a new block like a professional adult that actually understands responsibility. I am thankful that while the world burned through money like a YouTube streamer doing a 24-hour challenge, Bitcoin stayed consistent. No flip-flopping, no panic attacks, no emergency meetings, just quiet competence. I needed something stable in my life, and it sure as hell was not the US dollar. The dollar spent the year collapsing like it had a personal grudge against my purchasing power, and spoiler alert, that's what it always does, so I shouldn't be surprised. But Bitcoin showed up and said, hold me and everything will be fine. That is what I am thankful for. I am thankful that I have escaped the insane financial experiment that everyone else insists is normal. I am thankful that I get to store my value in something that does not act like a toddler with a Red Bull. I am thankful that while the system kept breaking and pretending it did not break, Bitcoin actually worked. So yes, this Thanksgiving, I am thankful for one thing, Bitcoin. If that offends anyone here, congratulations on defending a currency that cannot survive a 3-day weekend without a panic attack. I am not going back. I am not apologizing. This year belongs to Bitcoin. Now someone pass me the potatoes. I need carbs after saying all of that. And I'm also thankful to Horizon, my sponsor, for sponsoring the Bitcoin Wizard and this channel. Horizon helps you take your trapped home equity and they help you buy Bitcoin with it. It is glorious. Your home value gets you, 3% a year? That doesn't even beat half of inflation. Horizon helps you take your home equity and helps you buy Bitcoin with it, which would return a 30 or 40% a year. Seems like a no-brainer. And there's no debt, there's no monthly payments or term limits. The Bitcoin is fully yours to custody however you want to, with no risk of forced liquidation. They will help you every step of the way. Link in the description below, and I'll talk more about Horizon at the end of the video. All right, let's talk about Fiat really quick, because every Thanksgiving has that one person who shows up and instantly destroys the vibe. And in the financial world, that person is fiat currency. Nothing causes more chaos, confusion, or emotional distress. It barges into your life without warning, starts yelling about things that nobody asked about, and somehow makes everything more expensive just by existing. If you haven't been paying attention, the fiat system has one skill. It takes your money and it sets it on fire. That is the entire system. It extracts your life energy like a negative death vortex. It prints, it dilutes, it apologizes, and then it repeats. Then it expects you to clap for it like it accomplished something. Every single politician spent the year talking about how they were fixing the economy while the price of basic essentials continues to skyrocket like it's trying to escape Earth's atmosphere. Fiat cannot go 10 minutes without causing damage. It is a financial drywall puncher. Fiat never comes alone either. It brings inflation, it brings debt, it brings hidden fees, emergency rate changes, and a parade of economists explaining why you should not worry worry while everything else in your life continues to get exponentially worse. It breaks your savings, it insults your intelligence, it gaslights you, it asks you to trust it, then it collapses again. There is no moment where fiat will ever decide to behave because it literally can't. It is a permanent crisis generator, but Bitcoin is calm. Bitcoin is the calm in this hellish storm that is the fiat system. Fiat is a full-time liability, okay, but Bitcoin works. Fiat needs constant supervision and still finds ways to fail, but Bitcoin adds order to this hellish life that we live in. Fiat adds stress and Bitcoin increases your purchasing power over time. Fiat decreases your quality of life and then shrugs like it did not do anything. This year, I watched the fiat system destroy retirement plans, crush budgets, ruin businesses, and still give a speech about how strong it is. Meanwhile, Bitcoin protects everyone who holds it, and that is why I am done pretending fiat belongs in my household. It does not. It is the reason why everyone feels poorer. So when I say Bitcoin saved this year for me, I mean it literally. Without it, I would be sitting here pretending to enjoy a system that continues to hurt me and my loved ones. Fiat ruined Thanksgiving, Bitcoin fixes my sanity, and that is the truth. Bitcoin, remember, is the only honest thing, not only in finance, but in your entire life. Everything else lies to you. Every traditional system just lies. Every institution lies. Every government lies. Every bank lies. Every fiat economist lies like it's a competitive sport. You know it, I know it, they know it. They just hope that you are too exhausted to ever notice. Bitcoin does not participate in this clown circus. Bitcoin does not promise stability while delivering chaos. Bitcoin does not pretend inflation is some natural phenomenon that has arrived like it's the weather. Bitcoin does not claim that deficits are healthy. Bitcoin does not get on television, say the situation is under control, and then immediately cause another crisis. Bitcoin tells you exactly what it is: a fixed supply, a predictable issuance schedule, a transparent ledger that anyone in the world can verify. No backroom deals, no sudden rule changes, no favorite clients like Jeffrey Epstein, no excuses. Bitcoin is the only monetary system on Earth that behaves like it has integrity. It is your moral and ethical imperative to tell your family about Bitcoin this Thanksgiving. This is my command to you, straight from the Bitcoin wizard's mouth. You have no option in this matter. It is a must. And this is why, because your fiat NPC family is at the mercy of an endless stream of fiat announcements, rate hikes, rate cuts, emergency meetings, emergency statements, updated projections, revised projections, new failures. It is a non-stop loop of ultimate confusion, and they cannot be saved without knowing about Bitcoin. Fiat cannot go a single quarter without contradicting itself. It cannot produce a plan without rewiring it. The entire structure is a series of panic attacks disguised as policy. After watching a century of financial nonsense, seeing something honest is shocking. It is like finding out that gravity works after a lifetime of being dropped on your noggin. Bitcoin shows up, it produces blocks, and it follows the rules and refuses to lie. And that is why I am thankful this year. I have finally found a monetary system that treats me like an adult instead of a confused spectator. Bitcoin is the only honest thing in this room and the lives of your loved ones. Everything else in this fiat NPC hellscape needs therapy. All right, now we need to talk really briefly about the Federal Reserve, because these people have spent the entire year trying to steer the economy like they were playing a video game on hardware that can barely run. Every decision literally just felt like a last-minute guess. These people are pretending that they are knowing what they are doing, but this entire system is going straight to hell. Every single announcement this year sounded like a group project where everyone forgot the deadline and started winging it on live television. They raise rates too quickly. They don't cut rates enough. They panic. They freeze. They panic again. They pull levers like they are trying to fix a broken vending machine. They tell everyone to remain calm while they are sweating through their shirts, pretending that they have a handle on this entire situation. This is not monetary leadership. This is crisis management with Microsoft Excel, and they are doing a terrible terrible job. Bitcoin has watched their entire performance this year. Bitcoin has shrugged, and Bitcoin continues to keep on chugging with no meetings, no policy pivots, no emergency press releases, no improvised plans, no sudden chaos, just consistent block production while the people running Fiat try to hold the system together with public statements and crossed fingers. Because remember, the Fed spent the year contradicting itself. They said the banking sector was strong. It is absolutely not. They said everything was under control, and it was not. They say one thing in March, say the opposite in April, then they deny both of them in May. It is a never-ending loop of confusion designed to keep you in your cage like the fiat livestock that you are. But Bitcoin does not operate in this confusion because Bitcoin doesn't need persuasion at all. Bitcoin does not need credibility management. Bitcoin does not lose sleep over these policy errors. Bitcoin performs exactly as designed, while all of the central banks in the world continue to improvise reality. This year has made one thing very clear. Humans trying to micromanage a global economy is a total disaster. Bitcoin running itself is not. Bitcoin is the only system that did not melt down at least once this year. Meanwhile, the Fed accidentally caused more chaos than any institution should ever be allowed to generate. So yes, I am thankful for Bitcoin. I trust the algorithm more than the committee because the algorithm has never panicked once. The committee panicked 12 times before Easter. Let's talk about the banks because these institutions spent the entire year performing like they were actively trying to fail in more creative ways. Every single quarter, they came out with new problems, new losses, new liquidity issues, new scandals, new excuses. Not a single day went by without some bank somewhere doing something stupid and pretending it was part of the plan. Banks hate Bitcoin because Bitcoin exposes the banks. Bitcoin saves money. Banks charge fees for existing. Bitcoin settles instantly. Banks require blind faith like a cult with an overdraft policy. Bitcoin cannot freeze your funds, but banks freeze your funds, then congratulate themselves for doing the responsible thing. And the funniest part is that banks react every time Bitcoin succeeds. The price goes up, and banks call it dangerous. Adoption rises and banks call it a threat. Institutions allocate and the banks call it risky, and everything that makes Bitcoin attractive is the exact thing banks call a crisis. They look at competence and they panic because they cannot fake it. Remember, the banks can only operate their entire business model because it depends on their consumers being confused. But Bitcoin is on the opposite side of that equation. Bitcoin gives you clarity. The banks suffer. Bitcoin gives transparency. While the banks flail, Bitcoin removes all of the middlemen. You get to be your own bank, and because of that, the banks start to hyperventilate like someone unplugged their life support because it did. The only thing they know how to do is complain and charge more fees. This year, I watched the banks lose billions, blame everyone except for themselves, and still pretend like they are the pillars of financial stability. Meanwhile, Bitcoin ran flawlessly, no outages, no bailouts, no pleading, no drama, just consistent performance while the banks had emotional breakdowns. And the reality is, the irony is painful because remember, banks call themselves essential, but Bitcoin makes them optional. The banks call themselves smart. Bitcoin reveals that they cannot even operate without loopholes and government protection. So yes, this is another reason why I am thankful for Bitcoin. I am thankful that I do not rely on institutions that collapse every time someone breathes near their balance sheet. I am thankful that my savings are not trapped inside a system that breaks as easily as it lies. The banks had one job. Bitcoin did that job better. Bitcoin works. The banks continue to complain that they cannot compete. I am thankful for the one that actually delivers. This is the final slide, and I am going straight for the truth. I do not care what anyone else is grateful for this year. I am not thankful for the economy pretending that it is stable. I am not thankful for interest rates behaving like a malfunctioning roller coaster. I am not thankful for politicians shaking hands on TV like we did not just watch the entire financial system panic for 12 straight months. I am thankful for Bitcoin. That is it. That is the entire list. And for you all, of course, I love you all. Your support over this year has been absolutely amazing. But the reality is Bitcoin is the only thing that behaved correctly this year. I would not be surprised if Bitcoin was the only thing on Santa's nice list. Everything else tried to sabotage me and make my life miserable. The dollar decreased in value like it had a personal grudge against me. The banks cried every single time a spreadsheet changed. The regulators declared victory while everything explodes around them like it's a bomb in an action movie. The corporations continue to raise prices and then pretend that they did not. The whole fiat system acted like a bad sitcom that shouldn't have been renewed, and Bitcoin did its job quietly, consistently, globally, and it continued to tick every single 10 minutes. Tick-tock, next block, without drama, without excuses, without begging me to trust it. It did not dilute itself. It did not steal from me. It did not make promises and break them. It did not randomly collapse because someone misclicked on an Excel spreadsheet. It functioned like it was built by competent adults, so thank God for Satoshi. This year has taught me one lesson. Everything in the fiat world depends on people who do not know how to stay calm or stay honest. Bitcoin depends on math, it depends on rules, it depends on verification instead of blind trust. Bitcoin protects me from people who think that money printing is a strategy instead of a confession of failure. When I look at the entire world right now, Bitcoin is the only rational anchor. It is the only system that does not require delusion to believe in. Every other part of modern finance demands that you ignore what you see. Bitcoin demands that you look directly at the truth. So yes, I am thankful. I am thankful that I found a monetary system that will not betray me. I am thankful that the greatest asymmetric opportunity in human history is still available. I am thankful that I get to watch fiat fall apart while holding something that actually respects my time, my effort, and my sanity. Happy Thanksgiving. Be grateful to the one thing that did not lie to you this year. Be grateful to Bitcoin. Now let's eat. My name is Adam Livingston. I am the Bitcoin Wizard. Have a very happy Thanksgiving with your loved ones. And remember, tell them about the Orange Gospel. I can't be the only one. Like this video. Please subscribe to my channel to help me in my quest to spread the Orange Gospel to the masses. Have a terrific day. Do not party too hard. Class dismissed. Once again, a special thanks to Horizon for sponsoring this video. Most people don't realize this, but on average, 60% of American homeowners' net worth is locked up in their primary residence. And with home prices more inflated than ever, Americans now sit on a combined $35 trillion in home equity. Now there's a way to unlock that trapped capital and put it to work in Bitcoin. Horizon helps homeowners unlock a portion of their home equity to buy Bitcoin. It is not a loan, so there are no new monthly payments. You keep living in your home as usual, and then later when you sell, refinance, or choose to settle early, Horizon's provider takes an agreed share of your home's future value. That is the trade. Unlock cash now to stack Bitcoin by selling a slice of your home's future value while you continue living in it. What makes Horizon stand out is that there are no term limits and you keep 100% of the Bitcoin upside. The Bitcoin is fully yours to custody however you want, wherever you want, with no risk of forced liquidation. If you've been sitting on a pile of home equity and are eager to invest in Bitcoin, this may be the product for you. Visit joinhorizon.com to see if you qualify and get started. Their team of experts will work with you one-on-one from start to finish. Transform your dormant home equity into Bitcoin today with Horizon.